Hey guys, Spartan here. Welcome back to Odin Sphere, part 3. Is this part 3? Yeah, part 3, because part 1 was the tutorial. So, yes. Has the game fully loaded yet? It has. It's just I'm not in the right range.
It's the king's fault she's still alive.
Lord Briggan, please refrain from making such critical remarks in front of the soldiers.
I cannot still my tongue in the face of weakness.
So we're going to go hunt down that witch, the one that we saw in the last episode. At the end. I'm only talking to the plot relevant characters, by the way.
If that horrible cauldron never existed, then this bloodshed would not happen. Hold your tongue. My father is never wrong in his tactics.
Who's your father? Me? No, because I make mistakes as well. You got anything useful?
All right. Why is everyone so gloomy? I thought I could make a profit if you were all celebrating.
That is a valid point, but you have junk. Back in the original game, these level 1 vendors actually had, like, stuff that costed 100 gold, and that was back when the economy of this game was a lot simpler and you got a lot less money. So it was pretty much impossible to buy that junk. You can now use the current chapter, blah blah blah. So that's only used for like grinding or getting certain items that you missed in previous chapters, which I won't be doing because I know where pretty much everything is.
Do you understand how much we have sacrificed here? If it all was for some hunk of scrap iron, it is a disgrace to the dead. I'll catch that witch and make her spill her guts about that cauldron. If she plays dumb, her head will fly. Someone stop that fool before he leaves. No, he cannot be serious about opposing me. I shall find the witch. Gwendolyn, I leave the rest to you.
Father, please wait. A king cannot idly abandon his own castle. If I had not let the witch go, this would not have happened. Allow me to redeem myself. I shall capture the witch.
Gwendolyn, wait.
Yes, Father?
Heed my words. Do not cause undue harm to the witch. She is special. Be respectful.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Keep that in mind, because she is obviously not going to listen to that, and everyone is making noise outside. God damn it. That's the thing about Australians, we communicate, like, without being in the same room, we just shout out stuff. So yes, this is the Forest of Eldrit. Do I have a map? Kind of. So let's start this. I believe the game's going to give an alchemy tutorial now. Yes, alchemy and mandragores. There's a carrot in the ground. Concoct magic potion by mixing a material, a bottle, and other components. Alchemy. Gather a component. These things. You can hit square or X to get these things up the ground, and then you smack it in to collect it. Back in the original game, you couldn't see them at all, like there was no tell, and you had to hit X, like, and jump on them. It only made a sound. And this is a scripted thing, so you get a thing here. Yes, a thing again. Now here's a big difference between the original game and this one. Back in the original game, you needed these text archives in order to know exactly what to mix. So yes, this tells you that you need a material and one of these carrots to make a healing potion. Back in the original game, you had to wait until the second story before you could even make healing potions, I believe. Oh no, it was in the first story, but it was in like a later chapter. I think it's in 2 chapters' time that you would unlock it in the normal game. It was it's a lot better in the original game though. So you do this, you go to the material section, you hit mix, and you just hit X. And there, that's the basic tutorial. We advise you remember how to concoct healing tonic, which I will never use because I'll just use food, I guess. This concludes the tutorial. Wonderful. Basically, yeah, if you know what makes what, you can, well, or you experiment. You can just make the best potions right off the start. So let's try out Needle Strike, well, or at least demonstrate it. It's just like that thing from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I know Dem does. And we get more materials. Material is good, I guess. You can make whatever you want. I wish there wasn't as much noise outside. I should get one of those things to put under my door to block out the sound outside. Of course, going to just skip through this. So basically, the way you win in this game is basically you get 3 of the turnip items, and you put them in one of the materials, and you make the most overpowered potion in the game, which is, of course, Whirlwind, which I've already explained. And these are goblins. Take note that enemies that appear in areas that do not have, like, one of these double sword things in them are significantly easier to fight than the others. So if you listen carefully, you can hear if there's mandragores on the ground. Carrots aren't really the best stuff. More alchemy tutorials. Also with previously made potions. I'm going to try and smash this crate. Perform alchemy using a previously made potion. Yeah, I have to smash this. Okay, so yeah, you can mix potions with other stuff to make items. So you mix one of these and a carrot and you make this. The game doesn't exactly explain how this makes sense, but yeah. You can use a potion as a material, which is only really useful if you, when you lack materials or have extra potions. The way this works is the fact that each of the mandragoras, which there are 5 of, have 3 tiers of, like, potion. Put 1 carrot in a material and it makes a healing potion, put 2 and it makes a thing that restores your PP gauge, and you put 3 in and I forget what it does. I forgot what it does, but it doesn't matter. Is my mouse capturing because it's on the screen? Sorry if you could see that. Also, be careful when these things as daggers fly off after you knock them down, because you can be hit by them and it does inflict poison. Yes, there are status effects in this game. As you can see, that goblin is suffering from poison. And I got hit by trying to show that off. Wonderful. I'm just playing kind of shoddily right now. I should rebind these moves so that I have, like, a quick access thing. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, like... The game doesn't intend for you to hit, like, open skill menu and use skill every single time you want to use one. I'll deal with that later, though. Ancient manuscript. This is very important. The beast of despair feeds on man and destroys hope. The unleashed frenzy of death yearns for the light of life. The advancing inferno scorches the throne's surroundings. In the cauldron that breathes despair, the blood of the ancients boils. When Leviathan, last of the dragons, devours the stone of blood, the path shall be closed and void will cover the world. Prophecy of the end. It's a prophecy. It's obviously going to come true. So yes, we are dealing with an apocalypse here. And I might as well heal. Back in the original game, these only used to heal, like, 20 health and they gave 70 XP. But back in the original game, experience was, like, more valuable. Hang on, let me just, bind this to, R2, because I'll be using this quite a bit. It's, like, kind of my go-to skill. So there's a Phozon Prism over here, I'm gonna go grab that. I forget exactly what this skill is. I don't think it's anything useful, though. So now I can just hit R2 and do that. I don't know why I did it against a single bee, though, because bees are, like, not a threat at all, because they have, like, 1 health. And there are frogs here. Because it's a forest, what do you expect? I wonder if you can actually hear my controller going off. In before your character turns into a frog because of the frog curse. I'm pretty sure frogs cannot inflict the frog curse, and yes, that is a thing. Phozon Prism, and we get most likely a useless skill. This is Blinding Light. This actually isn't a bad skill, it's a stun skill. It uses quite a bit of PP though. Tense Light and inflicts the dizzy effect upon nearby foes, which is basically stun. Can I upgrade my weapon? No, I need more stuff. Okay. I'll save my Frozons for other things. Might want to plant some fruit, possibly. You know what? I got a seed for a thing here. You can also plant in bulk, which you could not do in the original game. You had to plant them all individually. Which was a real pain when you wanted to plant like 70,000 mulberries to use the Juggler Potion with, because the Juggler Potion was like one of the weirdest potions in the game. I believe I can actually craft one of those. It just uses a lot of seeds. That's Naturalize, Drain, extra Frozons. How did you create the Juggler Potion again? I completely forget. The Juggler Potion, it randomizes all items on the ground based on the level of the Juggler Potion used. And yes, potions have level. We'll get more into that later. I think you get a separate tutorial for that, though. I don't know how that hit me. And these are different types of items. I forget what these ones use. I don't think they were useful for much. And there's a coin up there, which is tell for the fact that this is hidden here. I don't know how I discovered this on my first playthrough. Probably because I was just randomly jamming into walls. I believe this is the most useless skill in the game, if memory serves me. Yeah, it is. Arctic Shroud. Embrace the chilling cold and prevent freeze and burn effects for a time. It's completely useless. I mean, it is technically useful in one part of the game. These things don't actually inflict damage on you, by the way. They just hit you for no real reason. Hang on, I believe you could make toxin potions with these. Antidote, Toxin, Killer Cloud. Killer Cloud is actually incredibly useful for one certain annoying boss later. Well, not really boss, mini-boss, but I keep pressing L1 to try and open the map. But L1 is kind of... I kind of want that as dodge in case I really need to dodge. But yeah, there's a mini-boss in this game that's really annoying. And I'd really like to have Killer Cloud for that when it appears. I should probably heal. Back in the original game, you needed to heal a lot because enemies were very dangerous. I mean, they're less dangerous than that then. They're less dangerous now, but they were really deadly in the original. Especially, like, the second boss of the fourth book. Oh yeah, and this sometimes happens. With battles appearing, like, randomly after you've opened a chest. Kind of like a trap. Thank God for the hitbox of Needle Strike being very generously large, so that I actually hit the knife. Because you can hit those knives or daggers or whatever they are and knock them back into the goblins to poison them. I believe there's a certain boss that you, like, that summoned goblins and you could knock their daggers into the actual boss and poison them, which is very, very useful. You could get more of these things. Toxin is also a very powerful potion, as I've explained before. Haven't demonstrated it yet. I'll use it on the boss, which is immune to poison, but it'll still be useful. Not close enough. Luckily, it takes up only 35% of your power gauge, so you can use it twice in succession. I should have used the ability instead of going for a dash attack. Screw you, giant frog. I believe there's an achievement for getting like a 100 chain or something like that. I purposely got a massive chain of 999, and there is no achievement or trophy for that. Antidote. Removes poison and also heals. Antidote used to be useless in the original game. It cured poison, but there was like a spell that you could learn that healed you essentially fully. That every character except for Gwendolyn had pretty much. And this is a mid-boss. Oh, it's also magic potion grades. Yes, this is the tutorial for making better potions. Yes, you can mix a material with food to increase its level. And I get free items for this. Hooray! Select healing potion, mix it with food. Yeah, you know this is how it's going to go. And it increases that level there. Yeah, you can mix in bulk as well. And you make a level 2 healing potion, which restores... I forget how much this restores, 150 or 200. I wish I could see instead of the bloody cutoff happening. Oh well, I think it's 200. Yeah, I can tell because this has a tiny line at the bottom and then 2 zeros, and this one has a decently larger line, so it's obviously a 2. I probably won't be using these healing potions much. Oh no, it's a giant plant! As a plant, it has to be vulnerable to fire, don't you think? I'll use a volcano here because I have 2 of them. That did a surprisingly large amount of damage. Although it is a potion, which they are generally meant to be powerful. Okay. Oh, he was in like a stagger stance of some sort. Alrune mandragores that are spawning. Do not want to get hit by that attack of his. Even before I... Well, at least I think these little enemies actually do hit other enemies because hostility is weird like that. Let's stun it. And despite the fact that... Oh wait, no. This is not an RPG, so status effects do work. I believe that a good amount of bosses can be stunned. And wow, that attack is really powerful. I did not remember it being that good. What is that just spawned? I've actually never seen that before, probably because I always killed the Alrune mandragores before they could do anything dangerous. Let's use a toxin potion, deal like millions of damage because it's so overpowered. Oh wow, that thing is a good shot. Either that or I'm an easy target. Let's just use the bigger one for no real reason. Yeah, it's 200. Poison isn't as deadly as it was in the original game. And then again, the original game had overpowered stuff like what was it again? Killer Cloud in the original game was very weird. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do Needle Strike. And let's combo Beak Drive. So we can get to the other side of this damn enemy. I hate enemies that have abilities that can hit you when you're behind them. There we go. Stupid plant thing down. Text has been updated. Alchemy. Yeah, you get updates to some of these things eventually. Recent scholars have discovered a way to amplify the effects of potion. You put fruit in them. Totally makes sense. And Power Stone. I believe that's the 3rd item I actually have, so might as well equip it. It increases the power recovery gauge. That was more useful in the original game when power was actually very important, but now it's less so. Was that a thing I heard in the ground? I don't know. I wish I knew how long I've been recording for. I believe one of these is always in these rest zones after the tutorial. You have anything?
Why don't you buy something? You may be a famous Valkyrie, but you still get hungry out on the battlefield, right?
I believe I quoted this in the last episode. Detox Charm. Recovery from poison effect 50% up. Not that good, because if you're in a zone that does not have poison, you're stuck with a dead item, kind of. Ooh, titanium gold. That's worth 10 coins. So these things appear randomly in these rest zones. They produce phosons for absolutely free. It only really works if you put seeds near them, though, so... Yeah, you can also get them, but they're not that good. Well, actually, they are good, but... I mean, they're free phosons, but they take up inventory space. You can use them in cooking for some reason. There's a random mulberry seed in the ground. That mulberry seed was, like, not a plant, though, so... I don't get how that works. You can find seeds randomly in the ground that aren't growing, but when you plant a seed, it instantly starts growing. The logic of this game is few and far between, but I guess there needs to be some ground rules. Oh god, I hate this damn effect. That is the honey effect, the most overpowered effect in the game, and only these damn bears use it. Basically, it allows you to be wombo-comboed completely for free. And I need to heal now, already. How many potions do I have? Too many. I should use the cyclone potions, they're not very useful. Yeah. Bigger enemies cannot really be affected very much by it. It does freeze in this game, which it didn't do in the original game. But in the original game, you could be hit by your own cyclone. What are you doing there? You're not Sonic the Hedgehog. Get out of here. I can't bear these enemies. Okay, that joke was absolutely terrible. I accept it, and I accept getting an A for it and not an S. Oh boy, new text added in the thing. Full of nutrients. Blah blah blah. Back in the original game, they said onions were used in cooking a lot. All mandragores have their uses, except some are a lot more useful than others. As I've already said, the turnips are the best. Level 2 Cyclone. Never going to be using these Cyclone potions, really. Cyclone is probably the worst potion ever. And there's a pomegranate here. For some reason. And there are acorns here. I never get why these are here. They give like 1 Phozon when you break them, and absolutely nothing else. I don't think there's anything here. I mean, there's a giant wall on the mini-map, but this character can't fly. This character can glide, but cannot fly. There's only one character that can fly, and they're kind of useless, because they fight different from every other character. Yeah, that was just me mashing buttons in an attempt to kill that thing before it ran away. They can't really run away, but they can just rebury themselves, which is annoying. You can just inch across the ground if you want to just find every single mandragora that could possibly be hiding there. It's very tedious, though. At least you can't kill butterflies. Did my controller turn off? Yes, it did. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Did not take as long as I expected. And yes, I will be stingy and grab every single coin ever. And I believe this is, yep, Manticore, Protector of the Forest. That goblin's face is weird. Same as with everything when it looks towards the camera. Let's use just Cyclone Potions because... And here you will see the frame drops. This game doesn't really drop many frames unless you're using Vampiric Ring combined with Whirlwind and like a million other effects. Wait, I staggered the boss and he wasn't even in the stagger thing. Status effect, poison. You'll receive damage over time. Poison does not go away very quickly, so antidote is actually useful in this game. I think I might go cure that now, actually. Antidote also restores 50 HP, but if you are poisoned it restores double, so it's effectively a healing potion and a restore from poison. Did the audio just change there for some reason? It seems a lot more clear than it was. I don't know. One of the things that's a problem with me that I've never really explained before is I'm actually half deaf in my left ear, so if there was a problem with the audio, then I have really no idea if it was or not, because I can't hear properly. Yeah, the bosses are heavier than they are in normal mode. The bosses were essentially like lightweights because you can juggle them endlessly. I did not see that on the map because I was looking at the ground. God damn it. I should be healing instead of going like full force. And I forget that attack does a whole bunch of damage. God damn it. I should use some of these potions more. I keep saying I'll never use them because, like, they're useful against bosses, and this isn't really a boss, but it's a mini-boss, so it's close enough. Also, all the enemies in this game have, like, a sort of hit spam reduction ability, so if you attempt to hit enemies repeatedly in the same short amount of time, they'll kind of get a sort of immunity. I wish I had that bigger healing potion now. Piss off, Manticore. Great, I've gone around. By the way, all these maps are circle, or at least most of them are, so you cannot really run away from the enemies too much, or you'll, like, loop around to the others. Fair. That's the one thing I hate about faster bosses. There's no chance to recover. I should have used Ice Shot to freeze them. I keep forgetting that there's a block mechanic in this game. Probably because I never blocked in the original game, because in the original game it was pointless, because it reduced damage instead of, like, making you immune to it. And it took power from the power gauge, which was very useful in the original game, so you didn't want to lose that. I have millions of these and I can just make more. Nice crit. I believe your skills can crit, but it doesn't have, like, the crit animation thing. Slowing enemies is kind of useful. I kind of forgot how useful it was. Yeah! Welcome to my house now. There we go, that's a nice juggle. Also, enemies do get damage resistance, and I think you do as well when you're on the ground. Because it's kind of like to prevent complete cheesification. Come on. Trying to get a nice dive attack, but he keeps jumping backwards. I guess he, like, knows my tactics. God damn that attack. Well, that was just stupid of me. There's a new potion. Blaze. 420. I don't remember if this game has, like, the exploit where if you, like, use a healing item... Wait, why didn't that restore double health? Oh well. Let's just use this thing, because this one is actually kind of useful and inflicts burning. It's useful for bosses that don't move around much. Because it constantly inflicts burning damage, and that burning does stack. Burning goes away if you, like, it goes away if you move too much. So basically, the faster you are, the quicker you're going to recover from burning. Which Manticore is kind of fast, but he did just stay still a lot and allow him to get, like, level 5 burning or something like that. I really hate Manticore. Although, I probably don't need to explain this. I'm going into another mini-boss stage. Nope, just a normal fight. What level am I? I'm level 6. Oh, not the bees. Back in the original game, these beehives were annoying, and it carried over to this game. Because these beehives just have too much health. They're just tedious to take down. I may like this game, but it is not immune to criticism. I'm trying to do an upward strike here. Good thing I dodged that honeypot. I just really do not like these bears. They are more annoying in this game than they were in the original. In the original game, there was a very slim chance of them, like, dropping a really good healing item, but I'm pretty sure they can't drop that anymore. Because, like, everything drops money now. Granted, the same was for the original game, but some enemies just dropped materials. In the original game, material was a lot less useful. It just, like, appeared everywhere. So let me explain how alchemy worked in the original game, since I didn't explain. In the original game, you got a material 0, and you got the mandragoras, except you used fruit and other junk to improve the grade of the material from 0 to, like, 1 or 2 or stuff like that. And basically, you mixed a mandragora with it when you wanted a certain result. So, example, a 0 plus an onion would make a bloody antidote potion. 0 plus a carrot would make a healing potion and stuff like that. The results changed when you got like the material to a higher even number, except when it went to 10, which it then looped around and counted as 0. This is just talking about how the Armageddon is supposed to be counted. Blah blah blah. He survives the battle, will become the new king. Demon words, Publix, blah blah blah. Demon Lord is Odin, by the way. I don't know why he's the Demon Lord. I'm just going to check my recording time quickly. Let's turn full screen preview mode off. Half an hour. Bloody oath. Yeah, these episodes will be pretty damn long. I'm going to explore every zone just in case I miss anything. Because I don't like backtracking in like any game. Which is kind of why I'm not interested in trying out the Metroid series of games. Because I hear that those games are literally just backtracking. Essentially. There we go. Anything else here? Nope. I think this is the fastest way to travel. At least unless you have a... I believe there was a skill one of the characters had that made you move incredibly quickly, and there's loot over here. Completely forgot to grab. Also, if you miss something on one of these screens, you can go back and grab it later. Which is useful because in the original game you couldn't. A fight! There we go. 124 hit combo. Restore potion. Restores the PP gauge. Never going to use that because pretty much all the PP moves in this game are kind of junk. At least for Gwendolyn. I mean, I think she has some better skills later on down the line, but right now she doesn't. Let's plant 2 of these. These things never really go away, so they're kind of useful. Because you get a seed from each finished one. Unless, of course, you're using them in cooking. Then you get nothing. I should not be recording again. I've stayed up till 5 AM again. Because that's kind of what happens. I do it once and it just sticks. This is an exit which you can warp between checkpoints. Checkpoints are, of course, like the rest areas. Stop hitting me. There's actually a trophy for getting hit by those things 3 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a worse potion, level 2 antidote, and I'm going to add these things until I get another killer cloud. Oh, I need to add 2 because antidote is already a Cub's Bane potion, base potion. So yes. Okay. Creepy goblin. Area map, kind of useless because I only have 1 area left. I forgot to equip my ancient crystal because I have one of those now. I am an idiot. What was the equipment screen again? Okay, it's start here. What don't I want? Probably this star pendant. The power stone. Ancient Crystal is actually really good because it grants 7 defense, and it's effectively a revive. Back in the original game, there were Ancient Crystals as well, but they were one-time use items. They broke after you used them.
I will not let you escape this time. You'll never get your wish, Valkyrie. Confront me all you want, but you cannot change my resolve. Go back and inform the Demon Lord. I will not listen to your pleas. You have no choice in the matter. If you insist that you will not repair the cauldron, that evil spear and my chain are both ciphers. If we battle, it will be a serious affair. You're hesitating. Bluffing will only get you so far. If you value your life, obey the king. You ignorant fool. You cut short your own life by meddling in my affairs. Using the crystallization cauldron will doom the entire world. That accursed cauldron served as a trigger.
Triggered.
The horror that befell my native country of Valentine.
father had one request, and it was to not harm the witch. Also, that attack that Gwendolyn did was only in the original game. It got removed because of the down dashing attack was changed. So yes, that happens like a few times, especially with another character that you control. Some of those potions that Velvet, which is her name, tries to use. Oh great, I'm burning because of her abilities. Some of the potions that she tries to use will be actually dropped, so you can pick them up yourself, which is kind of useful. It allows you to refresh your stock. I should make a regeneration potion. Those things are overpowered, but I don't think I have the materials needed. I think she's vulnerable to freeze. No, I need to stop doing that. That's a move I don't use nearly enough. This boss was actually one of the more easy bosses in the original. Hey, there we go, Toxin Potion. I don't think you can poison her because that's kind of overpowered. I know you can poison a certain other boss later, but that boss kind of cheeses you out if you do so. Well, not cheeses you out, they just like have a counter. Let's Cyclone you. Yeah, dodge backwards. You'll just get hit by Cyclone again. I believe that's actually counted as an attack in this fight. Oh god. Burning and stun. That's kind of an overpowered combination, don't you think? What do I want to use? I guess I'll just heal for now. No healing on my watch. It's like a level 3 healing potion. Also, all these abilities that she uses, you can use later on when you get to control her, because, spoiler alert, she's a controllable character. There we go. Here comes the combo. I should use Whirlwind if I'm going to try and cheese out this boss. You know, I'll give a demonstration of... Well, actually, I don't think that works against Velvet because she's too agile. Oops, do not want to get hit in that. At least that does very little damage. It just inflicts burn easily. Well, I walked right into that one. Level 2 burning is, of course, more intense. And away I go. Let's use the higher healing potion. I'll just make a few more later on. I could make some right now. Just use those bones. I don't need to improve them with food or anything like that. I should have increased my level before doing this fight. I forget that attack is like a boomerang. I need the ability that increases damage on downed enemies. There's also an ability that increases damage when juggling enemies. Just took off like half of her health in this stage with that combo. What move are you doing now? Okay, it's that move. I forgot. She hasn't used that move yet. I keep forgetting what moves she does and doesn't have. I think she has all of the moves she has in the playable version. There's that stupid spiral drive attack. It annoys me that she has infinite PP and you don't. No, you take this. Ah, gotcha. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can just charge her down at this rate. Does this go backwards? Yes, it does. Gotcha, bitch. Teabag you. Okay, fine. That was probably a stupid thing to do.
Wait. Both of you. Cease fighting.
Father, why are you here?
To check that you didn't kill her.
Something like
whoever guessed giant Dr. Eggman was a bad guy.
How did you stop the magic furnace? There must be something key to it. Speak, witch, if you value your life.
Even if I told you, there is nothing you can do. The cauldron may only be controlled by a ring named THEREAL. A terrible dragon holds the ring presently. Wagner, feared by all, keeps the ring within his stomach.
How could this be?
Wagner of all things. My lord, what do you plan for the girl who has harmed our country so? If we cannot use the cauldron's magic, the inevitable final battle shall be a recreation of the awful war against Valentine. How are we to inform the soldiers and the citizens? I know. We must sacrifice her flesh to the dragon and retrieve the ring. Command me to sacrifice the witch. Suppress everyone's anger with blood. I sense my king is not content. Is there any reason to protect this witch? Is there anything at all between our king and his daughter from an enemy land? Brigand, you... Ah, sire, I hear your command. The witch shall be sacrificed. Away with her!
Hey, Forzon Prism, does it make up for the story? Or for the badness in it? I don't know. The story is actually pretty good. I keep forgetting that I leveled up and you can use things to level up skills. God damn it. Assault high, increased damage dealt against according to number of chain. Oh, you get... I forget you can't do it until now. That's why. There's a reason. Abilities have been unlocked. These enhance the character itself. Kind of forgot about these. Fast glide increases gliding speed. Not the most useful ability, but it costs like 1. And you're pretty much forced to do it because it's the starting ability. And then you can get other ones. This concludes the tutorial for abilities. So let's see, what else is useful? Counter guard, increase damage dealt of next attack by 30% after successful guard, increase any HP recovery by 20%, increases power recovery speed. Increasing HP recovery is very useful in this game, so I'll be taking that. And that branches off into, what is this ability? Icy Grip, apply freeze effect to attacks when HP is 30% or lower. Power Supply is pretty good. Gourmet is actually really good for, like, because it increases EXP. Any experience gain should be gotten above everything else, so I guess I'll get Charge up and then stumble into Gourmet, because it's a very useful ability. I just realized I have 190 Forzons, so I should probably be getting... I'm going to upgrade Needle Strike because I use that very frequently, and I guess base weapon as well. Or I could get Assault High up, because Assault High is very useful. Increases damage against foes according to the number on the chain. I don't know how much this stacks up to, but it's useful. That's 2 attack. Yeah, I'll get this because it gives the exact same boost as the weapon upgrade, and it also increases the base damage because of the Assault High's ability itself. And Assault High is maxed at level 3. So that'll be the end of this episode, because I've been recording for long enough. I mean, we went from 45 minutes to... How long is it now? An hour and 25 minutes, so that's like 40 minutes of recording time. Let me just exit full screen preview mode. 48 minutes. Ooh, that's a long time. So I'll see you guys in the next video, where we go and do something. Bye-bye.